John in Brooklyn, New York. Hey, John, what's on your mind today?
Good afternoon, Mr. Hartman, and happy holidays.
Thank
I
you.
can hardly hear you. I'm sorry. It's very low the volume. Oh, I was listening to what you were talking about, Mary, and I forgot the man's name, and how she made $20,000 and he made $40,000. And it's funny. I had something like that happen with me, and Mary's got an issue where Mary's living in a neighborhood she just can't afford. Mary needs to find a neighborhood that she can afford, so Mary can have more disposable income. It's not the gentleman's fault that he makes $40,000 a year.
I'm not saying it is.
He's not.
What I'm saying is, John, you're completely missing it. You're thinking that I'm criticizing John for making 21 times more in disposable income than Mary. There's a lot of decisions both of them can make. My point was.
What I'm saying is, when my family came to this country, they didn't have any jobs. They lived in Manhattan on Mulberry Street. You know, that was kind of like what they call the Italian ghetto. And my family worked their way out of it by getting better jobs with a better education. Mary doesn't belong in the neighborhood she's living in if she can't afford to pay for it.
No, she can.
The problem with most people in this country is we give away so much. Mary doesn't have to go live in the neighborhood.
I don't believe this. John, you are completely missing my point. You are and talking over me. You're completely missing the point. And the point was that we need to change the way we understand money. Money is energy. Money isn't just like, something the Treasury makes. Every country, every civilization, every culture, since the advent of agriculture, and even many hunting-gathering societies, but not so much there. I mean, wampum typically was to tell stories and to record information more than for transactions. But ever since we started locking up food, which became the first form of money, money has represented life energy. Money represents literally the energy of our lives. And we need to think about it in that context. And Conrad Shaw's point was that whatever your cost of living is, and whether it exceeds your neighborhood or not, is irrelevant. Those are choices that you can make, where you want to live, what you want to do. And I get it that you think that our welfare programs are too generous. I respectfully say, screw you. Our welfare programs are nowhere near solid enough to catch people who are falling through the social safety net. And people are falling through literally every day. We just had here in the United States for 3 weeks the UN's expert, the special raconteur on poverty. And what he found was that in large chunks of the United States, severe poverty associated with poor health, toothlessness, hunger, literally malnutrition, is here in the United States, the richest country on earth. So my point was that we need to change how we think about money. That was just it. Jesse in Miami. Hey, Jesse, what's up?
Hey, hi, Tom. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Happy New Year, Jesse. It's coming up anyway.
Yep. Hey, I hope it's a lot better than this past year. I think we could do it. You really key on talking about the way money is looked at and it need to be changed. The topic I want to talk to you about was you made the book The Crash of 16. Mm-hmm. I say you was right. I put it like this. Trump coup was to prevent the crash. So I'm trying to say that when you talk about tax, the system now is so desperate that the elites need to take direct control of the government so they could consume the taxes, because the private sector is bankrupt. It has no credibility. So when you say the taxes, money need to be looked at as different. I would put it this way. You can't separate politics and economics, because that's our problem. Doing that, they could get away with saying, well, you're free. Yeah. You could vote for whoever you want.
Well, in the extension...
But economically, that's different. It's like it's separated. If the government could earn its own money, it wouldn't have to tax.
Well, in theory, I mean, it would debase the currency if the government simply issued money and used that to pay for things.
No, they would be in the market like the private sector. But the private sector has been Jim Crowing it from day one. The government is only allowed tolls, fees, and taxes. It can't get out there and build a bridge for itself.
Well,
it
can. It's the itself is us. I mean, government is us. That's the thing that most conservatives miss, is the first three words of both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. We the people. It's us. You know, we the people create governments, you know, among men and women.
We create wealth, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
We only allow the tax and you know, fees and tolls. That's it.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Well, I don't think it's wrong. I think I think that there should be a separation between what is public space and what is private space. My concern, Jesse, is kind of the opposite. It's that we have privatized so much of government functions, including the military now, that there's you know, that rather than things being done on behalf of we the people, we have things being done on behalf of corporate profits. And and it's skewing how these corporations, these contractors behave, and you know, and what they're doing. So, you know, good point. We'll get into that a little later on the program. But Jesse, thank you. Alex in Utica, New York. Hey, Alex, what's on your mind today?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. I thought that if you plant trees and nitrogen fixtures, fish ponds, and food forests that hold underground seas of water, and perennial vegetables, and wood chips would give them fertility, and wood chips prevent fires in California, it would be better for the
So you're advocating permaculture, basically.
Yeah, but if you don't, if you take your tax deduction, you could reinvest in the land that you own around you.
Right.
And
it is, you know, one of the more effective ways to sequester carbon is the way that nature has done it for 4 billion years on this planet, or arguably maybe 2 billion years on this planet. And that's through photosynthesis. It's through growing things. It's, you know, it's sequestering it in the soil, ultimately. And yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's a great point, Alex. Thank you for calling and making it. Tony in Tigard, Georgia. Hey, Tony, what's on your mind today?
How you doing, Tom?
Good. What's up?
I was just checking your math out here. On the $100,000, gentleman making $100,000 and he gets a tax break.
Right.
So now he's making $80,000.
Well, take-home pay.
Yeah, take-home pay. Well, that's the government. That has nothing to do with the employer. The employer's still paying him the $100,000.
I know.
I mean, you know, now you're getting the government into everything. And you're absolutely right about we the people. And we the people have voted in a new president that wanted to give us a tax cut.
Right. And it's going to lead to a drop in wages.
You know, that was another thing you explained. That you see, I own a business, and that's why I picked up the phone to call you. Because what you're saying, you've obviously never owned a business, have you, Tom? Have you ever owned a business before, Tom?
Tony.
Do you own one now? If it is, it's probably failing.
Tony,
have you owned a business?
Yes, I have. And I do own a business right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've owned, Tony, in my lifetime, I've owned 7 businesses that have generated over $250 million in revenue. I've had several hundred employees in the 40-plus years I've been in business. I understand business.
Was it with the government that you worked?
Tony, I never worked for a government.
Contracts with the government?
I never had well, yes, I did. I did.
That's what I thought.
I did 1 week. I did 1 week of work for the NSA, and I've done trainings for the CIA and for several branches of the military. But that, you know, none of that has anything to do with this, Tony. The point, and you know, I get your whole, you know, let's kill the messenger thing. You know, it's a great Fox News attempt. You learned well from right-wing radio, but you're full of BS. You're completely wrong. I do know what I'm talking about, first of all. And don't have to justify that to you or anybody else. But number one. But number two, you're missing my point. Taxes. We have to have taxes to fund our government. Do you disagree with that, Tony?
I do not disagree with that.
Okay, fine. So if we have to have taxes to fund our government, taxes have a secondary purpose as well, and that is to change behavior. There's a reason, for example, why we give people a tax deduction on mortgage interest, because we want them to buy houses rather than rent. We made the decision back in the 30s that it would be a good thing if people owned their homes, have equity in your life. That would be a good thing. So we changed our tax code to encourage that. We encourage business behavior with our tax code. And one of the ways that business behavior changes as a function of the tax code, is that as working people, as the employees of businesses see their taxes go down, their take-home pay goes up. And their employers,
I don't understand why you say that.
And their employers, I would submit, Tony, that that you're a fairly crummy. Well, no, now I'm doing the Fox News thing. I'm going to stop right there. As their employees' wages go up as a result of tax cuts, there is zero reason left for an employer to give people wage increases, pay raises in a labor market. The labor market is a function of what people are willing to work for. It's real simple. And what people are willing to work for is not before tax income. It's after tax income. That's the only thing that matters. It's just like my example with John and Mary. It's after the necessities are taken care of. What's left over is what matters. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Thom Hartmann. Visit thomhartmann.com for audio and video archives.
It's astonishing to me that people who listen to a lot of right-wing radio don't understand basic economics. You're listening to Rush Limbaugh, who's making $400 million a year. Welcome back. I should correct that. Limbaugh's last contract that I saw reported in the news was $400 million, but I think it was for a decade. So, $40 million a year. What can you say? Anyway, it's crazy. Kim in Portland, Oregon. Hey, Kim, what's on your mind? Thanks for listening to X-Ray FM.
Hi, Tom. Thanks. A year ago, I came on your program making an offer to teach my small business, Gentle Disposition, for free to groups that make a nonprofit. Gentle Disposition is a service for families who've lost a loved one and need help taking care of the things left behind by that loved one or clearing it in their home. I have not yet had any takers, and today is my father's birthday, and he did pass away 3 months ago, and out of that I was fortunate enough to receive some insurance. I am now offering $5,000 seed money to groups that will make a nonprofit. To a group, I should say. And I'm going to be awarding the money in the fall, but I'm going to have an opportunity for groups to submit, their argument for why they would be the best to build a worker-owned cooperative. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to come on and inform your listeners about that and also encourage them to spread word about this because I'm trying to help economic opportunity be more abundant in this nation, and especially with what's going on at our government level.
Sure. What's the website, Kim?
GentleDisposition.com.
GentleDisposition.com. There you go. Okay. I hope you get some positive feedback. Thanks a lot, Kim. Good luck. Chales in College Grove, Tennessee. Hey, Chales, what's up? Chales, watching Free Speech TV?
Yes, this is Free Speech Doctor.
You are on the air.
All righty. I just wanted to bring Corker and Alexander and Marshall Blackburn, and this is from the great state of Tennessee. She was for the opiates. She sponsored the bill, and I know everybody voted for it. And then Corker kicked that kid, and Alexander kicked that kid. And then when the union approached German Volkswagen, then both of them come back in the state and didn't want the union so people could have a $2 or $3 more raise. But they give themselves a kickback, and all 13, 14 of them up there. Mm-hmm. And then I can't understand why something would be like it is today, that something couldn't be done to them people doing and giving their own selves or some kind of investigation. I know they investigate everything, but Hatch, I know Hatch is the one who sponsored it and everything, but look like to me there'd be something that people like me could do. And besides, I know everybody says, I'll pass it on, I'll do this, I'll do that. Every time I call Alexander and Jarrett and all them, I'll pass it on, I'll pass it on. And I vote too. And
What's your principal, Chales, what's the principal message that you pass along to Corker and Blackburn and, you know, your elected representatives?
Just be honest with you, the damn crooks is what they are. I don't know no other way to put it, and I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay, Chales, I got to run, but thank you for that.